Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Now, if you haven't been hiding in a shack in the swamp for the last week, and, well, honestly, who could blame you if you were, you probably heard about the glorious victory New York Attorney General Letitia James scored against the evil NRA. The control freaks in the legacy media have been pretty excited about it, but one thing they have kinda left out is she didn't actually really win against the NRA. Former NRA executive and obvious Cylon operative Wayne LaPierre was indeed found liable for corruption, and he was indeed fined almost $4.5 million. But he has to pay that money back to the NRA. Same for the former treasurer and CFO Wilson Phillips, who had to pay another $2 million to the NRA. While Attorney General James did set out to destroy the NRA to advance her control freak agenda, she was unsuccessful in her attack. This case has left the NRA with less corruption and more money. Unfortunately, LaPierre was allowed to keep his $17 million golden parachute. So, let me do the math here. Ye old chemical peel is still sticking it to the NRA members for about $12.5 million. But hey, as far as I'm concerned, it would be worth twice as much just to be rid of him. What do you think? Will the NRA right itself and get back to working for gun rights, or is the cancer too deep?
I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.
While you amicably discuss that with grace and civility down there in the comments, please remember, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So, let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by TNVC.com, your source for good old-fashioned all-American night vision just like Mom used to make.
Hey friend, it's dark half the time on this planet. Unless you got magic powers or a mountain of carrots, you're gonna need TNVC to see at nighttime the right way.
Dexter Taylor wasn't really a gun dude when he started making homemade guns. That is, he wasn't the kind of guy who sits on the toilet watching some stranger talk about gun rights in front of a green screen.
Little bugger, I salute you.
He's what people might call a normal person. And he's also a software engineer with a taste for tinkering. If he had a touch of the gun-tism, like I assume most of you good folks have, he might have been aware of the ridiculously draconian laws New York has.
But maybe, just maybe.
And if he had known, it's possible he wouldn't have dived into the hobby of making guns at home. But once he learned it was legal, at least federally, and how easy it was, he was all in. Over the years, he made several homemade guns until armed men crashed into his home in the middle of the night. Mr. Taylor was indicted on 37 counts of having guns without the Crown's pleasure. Now, to be clear, he wasn't involved in open source pharmacology or any other criming kind of behavior.
When I saw you coming off the printer, damn, I knew it was on.
He hadn't made any violent threats. There was literally no reason to believe Mr. Taylor was a threat to anyone. When his lawyer tried to have the case dismissed on Second Amendment grounds, the state claimed that, like many other folks in similar situations, he didn't have standing because he never applied for the Crown's permission. Except Taylor's attorney is a wily one. He was ready with the numbers, and in this case, they prove the NYPD is actually issuing fewer permits than they were before the landmark Bruen ruling. Statistically speaking, Taylor had less than a 4% chance of being issued a permit if he had applied. It would have been entirely futile for him to even try, which means his Second Amendment rights were violated before he even had a chance. Taylor said, "New York State has no more right to tell me I may not keep and bear arms than it has to tell me I have to sit in the back of the bus. But it's going to take a lot of quatloos to fight the man in court, so I urge you to take a moment and give to Taylor's Give, Send, Go campaign," which, of course, we will link down there in the doobly-doo, as is our custom. Come on. You were just going to spend that money on another meme lower from PSA anyway, weren't you? The hits just keep on coming for control freaks. St. Benitez smacked down another authoritarian Kalifornistan law. This time banning, wait for it, sticks. Those crazy Calistanis tried to ban sticks. No, seriously, well, technically they tried to ban billies, but they also didn't really bother defining what a billy was in the statute, so the law could really apply to pretty near any stick-like object. And it outlaws the mere possession of these sticks, irrespective of any intent. So a person could get arrested, tried, and convicted for having a table leg. Now I know, nothing that comes out of the People's Republic of Kalifornistan should surprise me at this point, but I have to admit, I was indeed surprised to read in its defense, the state claims this 1923 law addresses unprecedented societal concerns and dramatic technological changes.
Wait, what?
It's a stick.
The stick there, somebody should move it.
The only weapon older was the rock cane used. In the 25-page ruling, St. Benitez goes into great detail how monumentally stupid this law is, and in the end, he enjoins Kalifornistan cops from enforcing the ban on billy clubs. Another case you might see the control freaks doing an undeserved victory lap on is California versus ATF. On Monday, a federal judge ruled against the ATF. Kind of. Police state enthusiasts are claiming this is an absolute win, saying it bans ghost guns, but that's not remotely what the outcome actually was. The short of it is that the ruling doesn't actually change much of anything. The suit was filed because the wine mommies didn't think the AFT's receiver rule was restrictive enough. They wanted to ban basically any vaguely gun-shaped lump of metal. Instead, the ATF ruled that 80% lowers could not be sold alongside tools and jigs for completing the lower. The court ruled that the ATF's opinion about how complete a lower could be was inadequate and arbitrary and ordered them to rewrite the opinion with more objective criteria. So, nothing really changed. It's still perfectly legal to build guns at home.
Gundustry news.
Hey, remember this MFer from SHOT? The Dark Storm modern fighting rifle has a ton of understated premium features, and our Dallas crew took the MFR out for a ride and talked about all those little details that make this rifle more than just another AR. So be sure to check that video out after your moment of zen, of course. And now for your moment of zen. Hey friends, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew propaganda at the low, low price of $3.50? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. And while you're at it, go to shop.ar15.com to get fly threads like these. You deserve it. I love you.